Hi all, this is Lynn with Paper Life, and today we're going to be working on our October daily. Before I get started, I want to give a big thanks to Teresa at T's Homemade Treasures. She helps with my group, Paper Lifers, and also runs her own group with Penny, and that is Timeless Paper Treasures, so make sure you check them out. But adore her, adore Penny, adore the whole group. And she has helped with so many of our freebies. There was a ridiculous amount this year. I want to give you a little recap of where I'm at. Here was our day 23 that we did last time. My day 25 tell a ghost story. I haven't written up my ghost story yet because my shoulder's acting up, so writing is a little more challenging, but I did decorate my page. I want to work on to be scared. Do you like to be scared or scare others page? And what I'm going to do for that is I have a piece of napkin. When you get your napkins, usually there's 2 or 3 plies, so you'll have at least one white layer on the back, sometimes 2. You want to remove those off so you only have your colored page left. And you can use a lot of different mediums to hold this down. One of the ones that I really recommend is a glue stick if you want it to be nice and flat. As a matter of fact, that's I think what I'm going to use today. Oh. Just because I want to make sure that I don't want my image all distorted. And sometimes when I use a wet medium, like a clear gesso or Mod Podge, it will kind of wrinkle it up. And sometimes that looks great, sometimes that's what I want. Other times I want it to be a little more non-wrinkled. And that's really where a glue stick comes in handy. Now, no, my glue stick would not be my final glue because it's not going to hold it down great over time. Some people can get glue stick to hold really well. I am not one of those. I don't care what glue stick I've used. I know there's a big push for the Oohoo glue stick. I don't know if I've really noticed much of a difference using that one and that one I have to order. So honestly, usually I just use an Elmer's glue stick. So since I use the glue stick, my page isn't super wrinkled up. And if you're using a wet medium, you can get it where it's not really wrinkled. I don't know, I find with the glue stick it's a little more controlled, I guess. If there's something I don't like, I can pick it back up. With the wet mediums, you're not going to get that. Once it's down, that's where your napkin's going to stay. I say napkin, but you can also use tissue paper. I love the effects that you get with tissue paper, and sometimes that's easier for me to find. So even though in this one I am using a napkin, just keep in mind that tissue paper can be used the same exact way, and you have a benefit. You don't have to take off the white layer of tissue paper. So all I'm doing here is I'm using my clear gesso, and I just want to get a nice consistent top layer with it. You can use something like a Mod Podge. You guys are probably sick and tired of hearing me say this, but I'm going to restate it. The big difference between something like a clear gesso and a Mod Podge is that the Mod Podge actually seals your work. So if you use Mod Podge and then you decide to do distressed ink over the top of it. It's not going to take because the Mod Podge will seal it. The clear gesso will keeps it a workable surface. That's my big benefit behind it, or the big reason why I use it. So as you can see, I did a quick kind of coat over the top with my clear gesso. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you for a moment and I'm going to dry this. Okay, so at this point my page is mostly dry, and this is why I like using napkins, especially over my book pages or over anything I'm doing, is because you can still see what's behind it faintly. If I just took a piece of paper and I laid it down there, obviously it would be all covered up and you wouldn't be able to see anything. So for me, adding a little bit of napkin there, it gives it another layer of dimension. But I'm going to show you something that I did, and I did this off camera, and I should have done it when you guys were here. But I have a water brush. You can also just use a regular paintbrush. Now, if you were to rip your napkin, you get kind of a hard defined line. I don't know if you can see that at all, but it's, you know, it's not as rough, I guess, as this area up here. And all I'm going to do is use a water brush or just my paintbrush with some water on it, and wherever you draw across with the water, you can now just tear that off, and it gives you that kind of organic frayed edge. And that's how I accomplished what was here already. So nothing fancy, but it makes it kind of blend in with your work area a little bit better. Sorry, a little bit of a tongue-tied there. So my page isn't completely dry. You guys know by now that I hate waiting for it to completely dry, but it's close enough. I want to distress around my edge just a little bit, just so it's not that real stark white. This was a new book that I was using. It wasn't a vintage one, so the pages itself don't have a whole lot of color. They're very stark white. Oh, excuse me, sorry. I was trying to get my leg in underneath my desk and my trash can was in my way. So all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of the vintage photo around the edge just to give it a little bit of character. Make it where it's not super white. I have this Boo, and this was one of the freebies that Teresa offered. I believe what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to create a little bit of a tuck spot. So I'm going to glue around these edges here, leaving the top and the bottom open so that I can, you know, tuck something up under there. That is my plan, at least. I am going to be using my Fabrifix. I did back this on, I think it was coffee stain paper. It was just some scrap paper I had. And it was because, like I said, usually when I print things, I'm printing it just on my copy paper, and it's not as thick as I would like for it to be on this. So that's why I did it. Okay. So all I did was put a little glue here and a little glue here, and it's just going to make me a little bit of a slide it up in there spot. Okay, let's see. I cut out my numbers and my letter already. My numbers and my prompt. And I was thinking about putting them on here, but I don't know how I'm feeling about that. I like the 24 there, but I'm thinking maybe this one down here. Maybe like that. Let's get my 24 held down first, because I do like it up there by the boo. And I'm just using my Fabric Fix or tack, I don't even know which one I have currently in there, to hold down my number. Okay, let's see. I want something behind here. Since I used my cheesecloth over here, I'm thinking I'm going to grab some cheesecloth and put it behind my prompt for today. So I'm just trying to find my end. And that has been one thing that this challenge, and I was talking to Teresa about this the other day, has really taught me, has been trying to keep somewhat of a cohesive feel to it, because my journals has that creepy Halloween, but also has kind of that playful fun Halloween. So I found that I was kind of having a hard time knowing, because like, okay, if I had cute over here, I didn't want creepy over here, because that would just be kind of weird. So it's really been teaching me how to blend my pages better together, where I'm trying to find the right words, where there's some flow to it without having it predetermined what it was going to be. Because a lot of times we make our journals are very themed, or we're working out one certain thing that we want to be in our journals. But for me, this has been really fun because I don't know what's going to be on the page the next day. I'm like, oh yeah, so what am I going to do here? I don't know. And so the one thing I do want in here is I want to use a tag. Just a second. Okay, I went ahead and paused you because I just got these tags off of Amazon, and they came in like a very noisy plastic packaging material or whatever. And I want you guys to have to sit there and listen to me trying to get it open. So I just removed my, I don't know what that would be, my string off the end. What I want to do is hopefully remove this whole strengthener so I can reuse it. One of these days I'll learn to put my tweezers on my desk. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, well, I don't know. I got most of it off, so whatever, that might work. But what I think I'm going to do is back it on this. This was a print that I was going to use, and I don't think I'm going to at this point. And as you can tell, I was messing around with when I did the moon to test some of the ink colors. And I'm just using my Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, 3-in-1, whatever it is you happen to be using, your glue. Honestly, I use Fabri-Fix a lot, and it's just because it gives me a very quick hold compared to like a tacky glue. But tacky glue would work just as well and probably be cheaper because I believe it's cheaper. But with those Sugar Belle bottles, I don't use near the glue that I used to. And you guys have heard me complain, I don't love my tacky glue in the Sugar Belle bottles. So that's why I don't use it as much as I used to. Oh, now the great question becomes, where did I put my hole punch? Woohoo! I found that rather easily. I won't tell you how hard of a time I had finding it earlier. So I just put that on there to give it a little bit of a background. I'm going to add some glue back on here. Okay, when I say some glue, apparently I mean half the bottle, because that really got away from me. And I'm just going to stick that back down mostly where it was. Now I want to slide that up out of my way, get my walnut stain. I believe that's the color I'm going to use. I've been using the walnut and the vintage photo kind of throughout this entire journal, along with the black soot. The black soot is just such a strong color that I have a hard time committing to it for around the edges. I know I might have commitment issues, but let's not talk about it. Okay. Now the next question is, oh, there it is. Where did my string go? Because I think I want to put this back in here. Okay, so that will just slide right there. I kind of like that. It adds a little character. If you guys bear with me for just a minute, I'm going to go grab the rest of my printables that are sitting on my love seat. Okay, so while I was getting my printables and the freebies and all that, I decided to grab some cardstock, and it's just in this like mustard yellow. And I'm going to create a little bit of a journaling card. I have some coffee. I'm going to say coffee stain, but it's really not, because I can see that there's some glitter in it. So it's going to be one of my pigments. I love all kinds of different stained papers. I think they all give a different effect. So I have my filing cabinet here next to me, and I just have random stained papers in it, and you never know what I'm going to grab out. Okay, so there's that part of it. Move that up out of my way. This is actually what I was originally after. So I think what I want is, there was one that caught my attention. I just have to remember where it is again. Because again, this is, do you like to be scared or scare others? And I'm thinking I am going to go after the Creep It Real. I want something that, I don't know what I want. I feel like we've been through this a few times before. Alright, let's go after this blood curdling. Witches, you're just going to have to hang out for a minute. So I liked kind of that. Kind of breaks the page up a little bit for me. I'm thinking the blood curdling is going to go like there. Like so. I am going to try to, oh, that was my stomach talking to you. It was saying hello. I am going to try to distress around this just a little bit. Oh, and there's my stomach again saying hello. I think I want something behind there. I have this on my desk, so let's go with this. So let's see. I'm really hoping my dog doesn't come up and knock on the door again. He literally just went outside. But he's been in this, I want to go in. No, I want to go back out. Nope, I want to go back in. Nope, I want to go back out. Like, he can't make up his mind. I think that'll be cute on there. Just add, you know, I just wanted to add a little something. Of course, I have to get glue all over the place. Okay. So that'll go down there. Oh, I put that up there and you can't even see what it looks like. Make sure I got my glue off of there. So it just has that there. I had some of these kind of creepy images cut out because I was going to use them for the creepy tag. And these are from Teresa's, and I am obsessed with her creepiness. I think I'm going to use this image. off of me. Okay. Now I'm going to work on that journaling card because even though I put that background and just kind of a simple tag or card to begin with, I wanted it to have some character. Okay. So I have such a mess around me, but I have this black creepy cloth. Again, my page over here has kind of some creepy cloth and some cloth and all that going on, so why not just continue some of that? Yeah, I'm just trying to whack me off some. No, I'm not worried about it being cut straight or any of that. Alright, so what I was thinking is put that there with them on top of there. What do we think? Oh, well, let me ink around this first because that is probably part of what's making it not look right to me. Alright, book, you gotta slide up out of the way. Stop attacking me. Alright, let's see. Now that I've inked around that a little bit, I still feel like they're kind of... I feel like my card is bigger than what the photo really needs, where they seem kind of lost on there, so let's see what else we can do. Kind of thinking maybe let's put them up there in the corner. Let's see if we have another. See, I have a ghostly end, but I think I want to save that for the Halloween story. Maybe I Smell Children, because I mean, it does look like little kids, so let's see. Alright, move that back out of our way. So I was thinking, wanted that up there like that, and then I small children there. I want something. What do I want there? I want something though. Feels a little lacking. Maybe, do we want to bring maybe some of this back in? I don't know. Cut. Alright, let's see. I'm going to have to kind of fray that up. I don't know yet. I'm not to the I like it yet stage. So I'm just using my walnut stain to age this just a little bit. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start gluing things down and act like I am content with it. I want this mostly behind here, and I want this on there. I mean, okay, it could be better, but I'm content with it. So we're going to go with it. You need to stay, behave. Now what I'm going to do is put a generous amount of this Fabrifix. This would have been better if I would have printed these images off on a thicker cardstock, but I didn't. Alright, there's my generous amount. My stomach is still talking to you guys. And I'm gonna just kind of smush that down, because that is my answer to everything. You just smush it. Just smush it. Okay. I want a little bit of glue up here to hold that kind of there, along with putting some underneath my picture. And I'm just gonna smush it. Just mush it. Get off my finger. Now I'll end up losing probably some of these threads just because of the way I cut them and not having them completely glued down, but I'm good with that. So let's see. So there is my page for my day 24. Do I like to be scared or scare others? Honestly, it's kind of a toss-up for me. I enjoy both. I mess with my kids probably more than I should, so they get scared a lot, but they're big and tough and they can handle it. So, but I also, I like going to haunted houses. I like doing the quote unquote scary things, even though I'm the biggest baby. And yeah, I don't handle being scared well. I like being scared, so go figure that one. So here is our day 24. Day 25. I will either write a story. I might actually just see if I can find a cool one on the internet, because I am not the writer in the family. That is my daughter. And I will see you all later.